tales can come true. It can happen to you.
What you doing to me? You got me dreamy-eyed and mystified as I can be. Ooh, what you doing to me? You make me feel like I'm about to blow my T.O.P. Oh, what a wonderful thrill. The day you popped the question and I answered yes.
Today, we step into the shoes of two couples that know what it means to have a special someone from another country. In the case of From Russia with Love and Braveheart. Meet Gertrude, a Kenyan from coastal Taveta, and Paul, a native of Zambia. They have known and even diligently studied each other for about 6.5 years.
When she's upset, whenever she gets upset, the way she gets upset is something else.
He's stubborn. Really stubborn.
It is clear that this pair is technically inseparable. The two met as computer engineering students in Russia.
News came around that some beautiful ladies from Kenya had come. And it was more like a gold rush. Who's going to get who? I went to the Kenyan ladies' room last, and I was welcomed. So when I entered the room, there were 3 girls. And the 2 girls that were there were so welcoming, you know, they wanted to talk to me. But Gertrude just went on, she just said hi, and then she went on making her bed. It was very...
I'm really good at television. I didn't pay him any interest, so according to him, he thinks all girls used to at least recognize him, but I didn't notice him. So it's like, okay, this chick feels good. I need to get to know her more.
Gertrude was playing hard to get.
From that time until she went for summer holidays, I went to see her every day. And every day I took her a white rose. Roses, or generally flowers, are very expensive in Russia because of the cold environment. But I managed to take her a white rose every day. And Gertrude managed to throw away that rose every day. Her explanation was she didn't have a place to put them. So I went ahead and bought her a vase. It wasn't long before the vase was broken as well.
With tons of persistence, Paul won his lady love, but at a cost.
I flunked 3 subjects. Yeah, it was because
He's
of
trying to
Gertrude.
like-
I was with her half the
Did I
time.
tell him not to study?
At her place, so...
The pair graduated and continued their relationship long distance. But when time came to meet Paul's parents, Gertrude had her fears.
My family had accepted him. They were quite excited about him. But from his side, his family was a bit reserved because they'd never met me. And apparently Kenyans have a certain reputation.
Say, for instance, the man is married to a Kenyan woman who then encourages him to buy property here in her name. Generally, it was East Africans like money. That's what people in my country think, that East Africans like money.
That was also an issue. Like, I wasn't sure if we were to continue with this, if I'd really be totally accepted and all. So we took it a day at a time.
The Meet the Parents trip was a success, and Paul now needed to get a ring secretly.
Because he's very impatient. One day he just called me up and he's like, "Can you please give me your ring?" Says, I'm like, "For what? Just give it to me." So I mean, clearly That's it just sold it off. So I was like, oh, okay, so he's gonna propose. Wonder what kind of ring he's gonna get me.
Getty likes unique things, and I think me not being Kenya also played to my advantage.
No.
The fun-loving Paul had other plans.
In as much as I came to propose to her, I also came to see her, have fun. So the proposal was just the icing on the cake.
Gertrude was not amused.
They decided to have some whiskey with my brother-in-law and talk into the night.
It was intentional. I was just pushing her buttons so she would get annoyed.
But in the wee hours of the morning, when most people are still in dreamland, Gertrude's dream was about to come alive.
I proposed, and yeah, she cried again. Cried. But then I said, but you haven't said, is it no, yes? So he said, it's yes, of course it's yes.
So, for the first time, Paul said that he loved her.
He'd never told me he loved me.
With the proposal behind them, the pair started sorting out their cultural issues, like dowry.
We were very well welcomed. Our hands were washed, we were given something to drink, then we were called for food. This is all before the introduction where we discussed dowry and everything. So we ate, we drank, and then we went in for the discussions. And we were told, oh, by the way, that food you had outside there, it's you who's supposed to pay for it. So then they give you the first bill. And in Zambia, you discuss everything, and then you come to a compromise, and then you pay later.
More cultural surprises were yet to be experienced.
In June this year, I went over for something they call a kitchen party. I was getting kitchen stuff. It was a women's only event during the day, so it's a bit different. To me, I felt it was more like another wedding.
My mom thought it would be best for her to at least meet the women.
There's a point where you have to take a present to the groom. He's seated like this. Then with whatever, it was a big cake. You kneel down with it slowly, hand it over to him. Then there's a way they clap like this. Then after clapping like that, you're meant to lie down and clap some more, then turn. So that really caught me off guard because I'd seen some DVDs of the kitchen parties before. I realized it's just culture, and if I love this man so much, what's so wrong with lying down? And it's not like I'm going to do it every day, So I did it, and it was quite interesting because it's something I've never done before.
In Paul's community, the wedding is for the groom and not the bride.
Even though I've got two sisters that are married, those don't count as weddings that my family's had. So they've always looked forward to my wedding. And so many relatives have been asking. But then there was a request from Gertrude's family that they have the wedding here because they're losing their girl. She'll be staying in Zambia, so at least they should have the wedding here, that they should have a chance to actually say bye.
With the cultural pillars firmly in place, the bride is planning for a unique and elegant Victorian wedding. And to pull this off, while Paul is away, Mum is helping out where she can. Today, we step into the shoes of two couples that know what it means to have a special someone from another country. In the case of From Russia with Love and Braveheart. There is Grace, our social worker, and an authentic Kenyan bride. She is marrying Matthew. While many singles seek love in nightclubs, sporting events, and other outstanding social gatherings, some find it in a more subtle way. The often neglected local church you frequent on Sundays, or the simple hand-holding prayer meetings held ever so often, present numerous possibilities, as Matthew would soon find out.
We met at NPC Valley Road. Just got back to Nairobi on the Tuesday, and I was hooking up with my friend, and he said, "There's somebody I've got to meet." And then he introduces me to Grace. He's actually my best man at the wedding, Ken.
After 2 years of dating, Matthew planned a surprise proposal at a New Year's party. His intentions proved to be less than secret.
I could see what he was trying to do the whole evening, you know. He's already told the people who live there what he's gonna do that evening. So I'm like, hi, you know, and we go to the kitchen, and it's like everyone's just looking at me like, you're not supposed to be here. You know, like we want to talk about something secretive. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. Then just before we went outside, he goes and wears this big jumper. You know, and I'm thinking...
It was cold.
Really? I thought that's why he's now hiding the ring.
I took her outside into the full moon, got down on one knee and asked her to marry me.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I've never just seen anyone go on his knees and jump or anything. So for me it was funny. Then he's forgetting he was really shaking, by the way. He was shaking. So I was like 3/4 of the time calming him down. Okay, you've done it. Yay! You know. But it was such a big step. And I was happy. I was really happy.
Especially when Matthew's visit with her father didn't go as expected.
I had this whole speech in my head ready. I'd rehearsed it 1,000 times. Even that morning it was clear in my mind. Driving there, it was clear on my mind. As soon as her dad said, "So why are you here?" Blank.
He started saying a lot of nothings when he was he was supposed to say what he's come to do. You know, my dad is there. Okay, so Matthew, what has brought you here today? Oh, you know, I love Grace and we love each other. And I'm thinking, no, say your intention. Then I'm just there saying, marriage. Then he says, oh, and I want to, I want to get married to Grace and everything. I'm thinking, finally, you know. And there was no dowry business. Happy? Yeah. Yes, it was different. It was not the typical Kenyan dating, because like for him, his culture, you meet the parents like so that day. It's like, you know, and in Kenyan culture or African culture, you meet the parents when you propose, at least when you know that girlfriend is serious. I met the parents like it was so immediate.
A few weeks.
Yeah. Because we are Christians also, it was very, we had certain values that we stuck by.
With Matthew at work in the UK, will Grace pull it off? With just a week to go. Coming up, Gertrude loses her dream wedding gown in a carjacking. With no time and no gown, just how will she arrive at the wedding? And Grace and Matthew's dreams of a Scottish castle venue falls flat on their face.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
I had a wonderful wedding thanks to Samantha's Bridal magazine.
For everyone.
Now available with complimentary wedding DVD.
It's a race to the wedding day. Gertrude is all hands on. And with some help from her decorator, their 200 guests will feel right at home.
About the lighting and all that gold and then you get the elegant factor in it. That is the right color to go with that black, because again when it is sparkling white, then the contrast is too much. But I think with that, and then we put the white roses and the centerpiece is like that. With what I have drawn, those things will go very well with the glass.
With the glass?
Yeah, and then instead of using colored water, because I'm wondering what color we could do that water, we can use gel crystals that go very well with the glass. It will give you like a, like it's like you have marbles inside the water, so you have a sparkly kind of thing. Creamy.
You do not know it.
I know it, but I was talking about something.
She loved it, only a few corrections here and there, especially on the covers. She really wanted white covers, but now they are beige, off-white, but I'm sure she doesn't mind because they are blending well with the black.
With her exotic black and white decor all sorted out, the bride is watching for perfection.
The serviettes are meant to be done differently.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Did you change the design from that first
No,
time?
it's still the same way. So I think they were just setting it up, but the service shouldn't be like this. On that particular day, I don't care. As long as I get married, I don't care what goes wrong, and I don't care what goes right. I just want to be happy, and that's what I'll be.
But all this running around for one's big day can take its toll, even on the strongest of us.
Okay, we went round, we were shopping for a band, but there's a point reached, I left her alone with her friends. I came back home. When she came home, she had a very bad migraine headache. She could not even take her supper, but she was a bit relieved. She slept. At 1, she woke me up. Mom took me to the hospital. We tried to start the car. It refused. I think it had a mechanical problem. Maybe the battery. I think in the morning we discovered that the battery had disconnected. So we saw it was not wise to wake up neighbors to take her to the hospital. So we went back to the house. We slept till 5. We went to Nairobi Hospital. But right now you can see her. She's quite jovial.
And the bride has her eyes set on a UK wedding gown. But that is until disaster strikes.
I got carjacked, my ring was stolen, bridesmaids 30 meters stolen, and a lot of money. So I was like, let me just get something assured. I might say I'm waiting for this dress, then something else happens.
With the dream of her UK gown carjacked, Gertrude has had to get another gown.
So I walked into next boutique, tried on one dress. The second one I said I was getting it, so I got it. It had slightly a bit of what I wanted in my original gown. So I got the gown and sat down with Peggy, and we came up with a way of adjusting it.
We have really changed it. It's just like like a ball gown fitted bustier, but we have changed quite a bit. It was a pickup dress, yes, with just a little bit, but we've ended up, like working on the outer, the layer, the organza. Picked it. We've had also to import like a lace fabric, which we have put like appliques onto the dress, and even on the tail, there's an additional lace that is actually us, that we have done. And even the way the waist was fitted, there's a boning, what is called boning, that gives somebody the support on the inside. The ones that were actually on the waistline were coming right on the waist and then making a depression. We've had to remove all the bonings and construct it again on the inside.
But getting the maids to show up has proved a bit of a challenge.
The girls, there are 5. 2 of them are from the groom side in Zambia, so I've only met one so far who already came. The other one is here, we haven't met, we haven't even spoken. Because even the first fitting that we did wasn't that good. The dress didn't quite sit right. But I think then she was able to understand, because when you do your measurements by yourself, it's quite different from measurements that are sent, from all the way from somebody else.
At first, I thought it was a bit complicated, but now that I'm wearing it and I've seen, it looks really nice. I like it. It's something that I haven't seen in any other wedding. I think it's unique. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
So I think the girls were relaxed. Yeah. And they thought August was still a long way to come. Yeah, and that time when we tried taking measurements, it couldn't work out. Nobody was coming. I think it was just an attitude of why are we taking measurements now and the wedding is in August. But just that last minute, you know, like early August now, then you get to see the girls coming, and they've been very cooperative.
So this is my evening dress. Everyone has their own different design. We chose different designs for this. I love it. I feel very, very comfortable in it.
Too much, perhaps, but not for a loyal friend.
Of course, you felt like it was too much. But she's our friend. I mean, I've known Gertrude for a very long time. I mean, it's worth it. If that's what she wants, well and good. It's her day, so
It has to be perfect.
It's only days to the wedding, and Gertrude's friends have a bridal shower lined up.
we're throwing a bridal shower for our friend Gertrude. I've known Gertrude since high school. And yeah, so we're just waiting for her to arrive together with the rest of the guests. She's giving us a hard time, but we'll try and see what we can do to get her here.
It's a big secret, and getting the weary bride to the venue needs some tricks.
She's adult saying.
What is she doing?
Saying the first, I guess, that she wants to go to South Africa to get her hair done.
Oh my God, yes. At least the baby may just end up telling her.
They've had to secretly cancel the bride's salon appointment just to get her there.
Call the hair done and tell the hair or someone around the
Yes,
hair done.
not to cancel.
But that is not enough, and some theatrics are needed.
Pick a spot inside.
She's coming to pick me.
Yeah, just have a drink. Go order something. Okay. And make sure you sip it as slowly as you can. Then tell her she can't. I mean, she has to take something as she waits for
She's
you.
in a hurry.
And after about 5 hours of scheming and waiting, they get their wish.
And see why I
Who told you to
do
be
my
no-
hair from
Who
yesterday?
told you to be complicated? You'd have just agreed nicely.
Man.
You have taken us through stress, my dear. This has been planned for 5 hours.
And it is going to be another late night for our bride.
Oh my God.
Grace and Matthew, on the other hand, have a Scottish dream castle wedding venue.
Sister was working in a small castle in Scotland. She was running it, so she'd offered that venue as a venue for us to get married. So I was thinking, oh, that would be good. You know, small number of people.
Instead of waiting
fly over.
for long.
You know, we have a nice castle wedding in the middle of Scotland.
But you have parents like mine, they bring you back down. It's like, oh, we have to be realistic, you know, budget friendly.
Not just that, but even their wedding day has had to move.
Well, initially we were looking at April.
Yeah.
We were looking at April the 24th because that would have been our 3-year anniversary of when we started going out officially. But then minor complications with things that happened in the UK, and we just decided to push it back to September because we realised we could get everything nicely organised by then.
He's wearing a kilt.
Yeah.
We see that every
You
day.
know,
No.
I'm not wearing the typical kilt that you've probably seen, because you know there's different types of kilt, and I think the one that most people will have seen is the Prince Charlie outfit, where you've got the kilt, you've got the sporran, you've got the bow tie or the tie with the waistcoat and the jacket, whereas I figured if I was wearing that, I'd probably die of heat because it's all wool. So I've gone for the Highland kilt, which is called a Jacobite top. It's a smart shirt, but it's a pull-on shirt, and then it's tied up with a leather strap at the top. So there's no tie. But just wait till the day. You'll approve. No.
I've seen it. Not seen it, but I've seen the.
She's seen pictures on the internet.
So I was just saying no, but it's okay.
With all the changes in Grace and Matthew's plans, the decor must be clear.
The decor using pots and the cake, also the shape of the cake and everything. The colors are brown and green, so they're a bit earthy. So we're at the decor place. We're coming to discuss and just go through the things we had decided because Matthew was not around during the planning, and just hope that everything will be decided today. So this is it.
Okay.
Yeah, the flowers. And then as I showed this one. So
okay.
I don't know if that's okay. I was thinking white because it's a wedding, but we can change. She's okay changing anything. We don't have to have the flowers here. We don't have.
Just some white with just some kind of decoration, as you were saying, just to break it up a bit.
Yeah,
I think
so
that looks
it's
nice.
just the same.
Clay pot.
Yeah, but now you wouldn't even see it because it will be covered with some, I don't know, sackcloth material, but just nice. Brown, orange, stuff like that.
Authentic.
So yeah, we've had our meeting at Vintage Wedding, and I've seen everything that Grace has chosen, and yeah, it's nice. It's not too extravagant. It suits us down to the T. So yeah, I'm happy, and Grace is happy.
I don't want to see a couple of people that I don't know in my wedding, but my parents have their friends who they want to come for the wedding. So, and I don't dispute that. So
we agreed on 100.
And 50.
And then other parties got involved, and it went up to 150. Then it went up to 175, and then I gave up counting.
Can I get married fast? Yeah. Then then can he find out on that day? I don't want to be left now.
I have been asking this question.
I told him to be open-minded, you know.
But with Mum in charge of the food, there is nothing to fear. So Grace intends to have a grand day full of music, even if Matthew can't dance.
Me, I'll dance to it, but can he dance to it? I want to be sure. I don't want to see things doing something like Matthew,
I'm expecting Grace to laugh because I've got 2 left feet.
It's a day to the wedding, and Grace is at the salon. She is having a weave done for her big day, and not the traditional braids.
I love weaves. I've always done weaves, and plus the hairdo that I wanted to do will come out better with a weave than my hair.
And later in the day, Matthew and Grace seek some last-minute counsel.
My wife and I, Delina, have known Matthew and Grace now for a couple of years. We've had the privilege of being able to be with them, to mentor them, and just to walk with them during this time of courtship, and for them to begin to understand what it is that is involved in being husband and wife. We've been married for 19 years now.
Yeah, why are you getting married?
Because I found someone who loves me. I don't want to settle down with the person.
You found someone who loves. Not because you are in love, but you have found someone. That's what you're going to say. Okay? No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I'm just confirming. Is love enough to sustain a marriage?
No, not just love. Although I think love is a good starting point, but I think you've got to be completely committed to each other.
If you're lonely and you're getting married, then you're taking loneliness into that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, it's what about what you can give to the other person as well, not just what you can take from them.
Marriage is give and take. You both give and you both receive from each other.
Yeah.
Not one gives and the other one takes. Yeah? It's a commitment one to the other.
Yeah.
When you're expecting something and you don't get it, then of course all negative energy now begins to come out, because you didn't get what you wanted. But when you go to give, and as you are Christians, the Bible says never tire in doing good. So you just give, regardless whether you're getting it back or not.
Coming up, it has been a frantic 24 hours for Gertrude and Paul, and our bride will have nothing less than a perfect day.
Whoa, the
with
good
only
life.
hours to the wedding, it's
Full
either
of fun.
her way
Seems
or
to
no
be.
way.
Call one of them, either Wendy or Kim, and tell them 10:30 I'm leaving, with or without them.
Are you ready to work for yourself? Join WMBA and become a certified wedding and event planner. Our training programs include wedding and special event planning, floral arrangements, and decorations. Our graduates and members attest to the fact that we are the best. February 2011 class enrollment is on. Call 0722480068 or visit www.samanthabridals.co.ke.
It's the morning of Gertrude's wedding, and the maids are late from the salon.
My hair is more complicated than theirs. Call one of them, either Wendy or Kim, and tell them 10:30 I'm leaving, with or without them.
The beautician is doing what she knows best.
We just have a really cold towel on top of the cucumbers, which we put in the freezer to help with puffiness or any swelling, to help bring it down a bit and close up her pores before we apply makeup.
And our bride is even more relieved to see her maids and their dresses. But Mum has had her early share of a hectic day.
So many friends were around. I didn't have time to go for my hair, for my nails. So I had to go this morning.
Okay.
I've just come back. I hope we are going to be on time, because we are intending to leave this place at 10:30.
With a full house, just how possible will it be to keep time? Back inside, everyone is busy touching up. And now, it's our Victorian bride's turn to be dressed.
The church was meant to have already started.
It is now a last-minute dash out of the house, onto the traditional Lesso carpet, on the parking lot walkway, and into the waiting car. And off they go. Meanwhile, their All Saints Cathedral venue is simple, beautiful, and flowery. After 6.5 years, it is finally time to walk down the aisle, starting off with this beautiful pair, followed by the fabulously dressed maids. And here is the lady of the moment. She is exquisitely dressed in a beaded, strapless ball gown with matching silver jewellery. The groom eagerly watches for his bride. And now it's the moment of a lifetime as bride and groom say their vows. in the company of their party, family, and friends. A customary release of doves is used as the symbol of peace for them and for their two communities. It is perfect and even worth dancing about. It hasn't been an easy day for the bride, and even for the people around her.
I must say she was my first bride who was very, very demanding. She knew what, I'm not sure we knew the look she wanted, but she had an idea, so it was trying to create that on her face, and that was really a challenge. But it ended up coming together.
Now it's off for a break, as the custom is in Zambia, then the evening party thereafter. Back at the Intercontinental venue, all hands are gearing up for their unique evening party. The before pictures. Of the sparkling gel crystals make a magnificent addition to the flower arrangement. The elegant high table draped in blue and white. The glowing chandeliers. The exceptional white and black cake.
The bride wanted a very rich fruit cake, plus she has 250 guests, so she wanted to make each cake for her guest. That's why we have done the setup of the small cakes. We call them wing cakes, and this is what she wanted.
And the after tell the whole story. Of style, persistence, order, merit, and most of all, success.
It's been a day. I feel like Jack Bauer in seasons coming up, just that my day is not long enough. I don't have 24 hours. But the wedding that was starting before us, they started late. Therefore, when my flower people arrived, they couldn't set up. And so we're busy dismantling flowers for the other wedding, and we're trying to set up the other wedding, and Gertrude is outside and she's wondering why can't I get into the church because she's ready. But eventually we got her in. Also managed to release the doves, even though we were worried that they would die.
As the guests stream in, the newlyweds arrive in their polished red sports car.
Sasa hao wanawake wanataka kuimba wako wapi? The guys who made me not remove this and they're not even here. I'm tired. Huh? So why are they here? They're coming, relax, get tea. Mimi nataka kumaliza nenda nilale.
The singer's slight mistake is quickly corrected. But the couple's cameraman has made an even bigger mistake.
They were not even here during the arrival. Yeah. I wonder how the video will be. And I think you need to give those videographers of ours the part for us guys coming in, because they didn't get it.
Get it. Tafadhali.
Okay, I'm not fussing.
That, however, does not stop the party from going on. And the mum is having a hard time saying goodbye. Her last-born daughter is now married and will shortly be traveling to Zambia to settle.
It was mixed reaction. I was happy for her, but again now this is my baby, and she had stayed out of the country for 5 years. She came back in 2008. Come 2009, she's engaged. Then they're talking of wedding, and it was hard to take it.
But for Gertrude, it's hello to a new family and lifestyle. And perhaps some lessons are needed to say a decent hello to her mother-in-law. After a bit of white-coated, tasty, rich fruitcake, the ceremonial parental honour, and the popping of champagne for a toast, a wide selection of treats is on the buffet tables, with the menu including both Zambian and Kenyan delicacies, especially the starches, and the mouth-watering meaty treats in all their different varieties. The guests are well catered for, and they can't wait to dig into their sumptuous meals and even listen to some soothing, melodious music from their band until dawn. On the other side, it is Matthew's wedding day, and he is experiencing the challenges of being a bachelor, but not for long. And where has he safely kept the wedding bands?
So yeah, as we all know, the safest place is around a man's neck or around a woman's neck. So that is where I've been keeping the wedding bands.
Dressing is almost done, but not without the shoes to match.
Called brogues, and they lace up halfway around the ankle.
It's a weighty process, as the kilt weighs about 4 kilograms.
This is where I need, let me see.
Pull things up and down,
Yeah. Yeah, goes through those two.
Through the loops of...
Yeah. If it was to fall down, people will be getting a shock.
Nonetheless, that is the full outfit, and the groom is looking nothing less than a fine Scotsman. And it's off to the church for the ceremony, with a few thank you gifts in hand for his party. It's time to hit the road. With a very nervous Scottish groom who is happy to have his Kenyan bride, he is already changing her name.
And after that, she will no longer be Grace Juma, it's Grace Akini Edmondson.
They arrive an hour to the wedding, and it's just what the bride wanted, a punctual day. Meanwhile, their venue is looking nothing short of magnificent. The reception table centerpieces matching with the bride's colours, the seat covers and tie backs in blended orange and brown.
Wow, I love it.
And even the white calabash-adorned entry arch is looking spectacular. And church decor all tends towards a strong African theme with a modern Scottish touch. All is ready. The bride is 1 hour early for her 2 p.m. Friday wedding, even after a minor morning mishap.
My nail came off. And then, so she had to call someone to go to town and pick them so that they can be done.
Matthew is not only excited, but he is shaking. It is now time. Anxious Matthew. And Matthew's mum, who is overwhelmed to see her last and only son tying the knot. The golden bands of devotion fixed in place, the kiss of overflowing love, and the legal seal to prove it. It's time for the celebrations to begin from the roots. And Matthew is definitely outclassed on the dance floor. But he is happy that Mum has come all the way from UK to grace his event, the only person on his side of the family that was able to.
My husband wasn't able to be here to share this fabulous occasion. Sorry, it's quite an emotional time for me. My husband wasn't able to be here because he's taking treatment for cancer.
And to hearing from his father, who is ailing from cancer, makes for a complete day, even if it is a long-distance phone call.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your meal. Enjoy your life. God bless you.
And one last dance for the day. And this special one, in the arms of his new wife, is no match for Matthew. It just goes to show that whether in class or elsewhere, even in your local church fellowship, love can be found. It may be obvious to the eye, or it may just require some effort. And when it means crossing borders, even cultural ones, it is still worth the effort. Share with us your sentiments on our Facebook fan page and visit www.samanthasbridal.co.ke.
The night is young, the skies are clear, and if you want to go walking, dear, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. I understand the reason why you're sentimental, 'cause so am I. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. You can tell at a glance what a swell night this is for romance. You can hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low. Let yourself go, so please be sweet, my chickadee. And when I kiss you, just say to me, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delirious, it's dilemma, it's the limit, it's deluxe, it's delicious.